Hi all, this is Fast Track Engineers Civil Engineering Method of Measurements Introduction class. This is just an introduction for CESMM for civil engineers as well as civil engineering students. So this is what we are planning to just to get a common idea, and we want to reduce the gap between those who are studying civil engineer and really practicing civil engineering in the industry. So this is just academia industry relationship. So I feel most of the students will get benefited, and fresh engineers will get benefited from these sessions. So most of you may be unaware of CESM. We have this introduction section in Malayalam also. You can find the link in here, and we have very practical sessions that we are conducting in colleges. Those who are inviting us. So this is just to give you an overall picture of CESM. Specialty of CESM is you cannot even study it yourself. Means through YouTube you cannot study all aspects of CESM. You can just go through. So for that purpose, just understanding the CESM, I am giving this small introduction. This is not a very deep study of CESM, but it will give you a just an awareness how CESM works, or what are included in CESM. So first we have to understand that CESM is the basic fundamental worldwide accepted method of measurements for all type of works in civil engineering. This is not limited to any simple one type of work. It is applicable for all type of work, and the history of CESM is from 1976. The first edition was published and it was approved by International Civil Engineers ICE. We all follow this in the industry. Whatever method you studied in your colleges or in your country will not be applicable for the industry. That is the difference I want to tell you. So whatever you know, maybe in UK one practice is there, US one practice is there, somewhere it is, some measurements are taken in meter, centimeter, seconds method. Somewhere it is foot, feet means foot measurement for length. So we have those difference in everywhere in the world. But CESM is created to nullify the effect of each country internationally approved method of measurement. So even you are practicing in UK or US or Asia, Middle East or in India, This method of measurement is common for every person, every civil engineers all over the world. That is a specialty. And if you study this method of measurement, you are one of the international approved civil engineer who can measure a work in civil engineering. That is a specialty of CESM. So it has a lot of editions, 76, 85, 91, like that it is going on. The content of CESM. We have the fourth version of CESM now. So the content of CESM altogether is divided into 8 sections. So this is very important. You have to understand that the total CESM is divided into 8 sections, and the first section is definitions. That is mainly what are the terms used inside and what is the definition of those terms. So in our workshops all over the world where we are conducting the workshops, Fast Track Tech Media on behalf of Fast Track Academy, wherever we are conducting the workshops on CESM, our first section is definitions, similar to whatever it is in CESM. So definitions, you will find each and every terms, the meaning in contractual conditions, tender conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, preamble of contract, BOQ, and even bill of quantities means BOQ, and pricing methods in, and even claims. The same terms are using. Related to CESM, you have to understand FIDIC also. That also we have separate session. So now second section is general principles. Why we are defined these terms, that is general principles. Next is application of work classification, and fourth session is coding, and session 5 is preparation of BOQ. Session 6 is competition, pricing and use of BOQ. So this is going deep and deep in first 7 sections. Unless otherwise you study the first 7 sections, the biggest section is section 8, but you cannot understand. So it should be our target. We have to study work classification based on section 1 to 7 of CESM. So preparation of BOQ itself depends on CESM, and the whatever standards mentioned in section 5 to be followed while you are making a BOQ. So again, we are directly going to section 8. Section 1 to 5 we will study in our workshop. The purpose of studying section 1 to 7 is to understand section 8. This is the biggest difference between other civil engineering laws, means whatever we are using skills. CESM skill required the first 7 sections to be covered to understand the 8th section. 8th section is very simple, and In this video, I am just going through all the eight uh, sections, whatever classifications are there, that covers all the work in civil engineering. Whatever not in system also we will teach you in our workshops, but this is just for a start, to start your real career in civil engineering. So whenever I am telling class A to Z, that is divided into 26 sections. Actually, section 8 is divided into 26 classes. Class A to class Z. We will go through that. So, class A, there is class A to class Z, that means 26 sections are there. So, let us see what is included in class A. See, class A consists of general obligations. The term obligations means whatever some person or some company has to do. That may be three type of persons. One is the client, second is the consultant or technical consultant or engineer, third is the contractor or execution part, whoever handling. The contractor may be civil, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, HVAC, lift, fire, or even lamination also. Maybe separate contractor will come. So general obligations means that type of things. And what the contractor has to do, how to measure these obligations. So keep in mind that CESMM is not just rules, but the method. CESMM, the word itself is telling method of measurement. So it is not the rule to follow, but the guidance to how to measure each and everything. So we have to think like that. Do not think that this is the rule. This is the method. So this is a standard method. That doesn't mean this is the only method. So SESM is not final for every work. If your preamble specify that some work is should be measured like this or differently, then it will supersede SESM. This is an important aspect everyone should understand. SESM is not final if your preamble telling that for a particular work this method of measurement is not applicable. In lot of work I found such differences from standard method of measurements, but it is mentioned in the preamble. So this preamble, general conditions of contract, everything we will discuss in our workshops. So whoever watching this video should understand that we are doing elaborate workshops on SESM, FIDIC, and Primavera, so specialized for mostly for civil, electrical, and mechanical engineers. So in class A, site services and facilities, temporary works, testing of materials and work, provisional sums, prime cost items. So these six type of items is considered as general items. So temporary works means suppose you are making a road for the access to the site, but it is not required after the construction work. That is a part of temporary work. If the contractor making or consultant or even client have an office, site office, that is a temporary work. So who will do the work? How to measure the work? So the second part is important in CESMM. Who will do the work is depends on the contract, but how to measure the work depends on CESMM. So these difference we have to understand. So temporary work, site services. Site services means internet facility or even some site we require water. So that is their sanitary, whatever it is, sanitary equipments or septic tank cleaning. All those things should be included in general items. And whenever we are preparing a BOQ, we have to give some, uh, means we have to measure it. We cannot give for 1,000 crore project. Suppose we are giving 100,000 for temporary work. Again, when it is considered to a 100 crore or 50 crore project, we cannot give so much money. So we need a measurement. That is mentioned in the temporary works or site services. Testing of materials also depends. So testing of materials, there are different types of materials we are using in civil engineering. So all those materials while testing, there is a expense for whoever doing the test. So how we can measure it? For example, field density test for the road. Suppose engineer is asking for 5 tests. Uh, so whether the number counts or the length of road counts. Suppose engineer is asking for 5 tests within 100 meter, the price will vary. If engineer is asking same 5 tests within 2 kilometer, so that is the purpose of application of CESMM. So engineer cannot tell that the only 5 tests is there, and wherever I say you have to take test. So the contractor will cost more. If suppose for 5 kilometers he is asking for 5 tests, and he is asking for another 10 100 meters, again 5 tests. So the 5 tests for the first 5 kilometers or 2 kilometers, the real cost will be different for the second 100 meters. So this will cause a issue, financial issue. Who is suffering? So here engineer may require additional test for specific reason, but for the contractor each test cost him some money. So how we can measure it? Based on number or based on the length of road. So there a confusion will come. So to avoid such confusions, CESMM is made. So ultimately in this video we are telling why CESMM is an important part of civil engineering career. Civil engineering career, if you go any international companies or any corporate companies or any company doing big infrastructure work more than 1 million contract amount, CESMM is applicable, and whoever know the CESMM methods, he will get the advantages. So CESMM is not just limited to quantity surveyors or planning engineers or project managers. It is applicable for the site engineers also, because if site engineer doesn't know this is payable or not payable, he may do the testing without showing in the paper. So what is payable, what is not payable, what is included, what is not included, and whatever included, how to measure, these things we have to understand. Same way, testing of materials, provisional sums, prime cost items. So these 6 terms are well defined in the general conditions. Next is class B. Class B is for ground investigation. Ground investigation means whatever in the ground before construction. We have to study. So to study we use lot of things. Lot of things means as you study in engineering syllabus, we do trial pits, trenches, boreholes, soil test. Boreholes means soil test. Trial pit also soil test. We take different type of samples, disturbed samples, undisturbed samples. We do different type of tests, and even we may do some time taking observations like plate loading test, and for this we may require a service of geotechnical engineer or those who are expert in this type of test. So how to measure, how to pay for these things, that depends on class B of CESMM, that is ground investigation. But don't think that everything in related to ground investigation is included. So whenever we study CESMM, there will be a provision that what is included, what is not included. Here in class B, there we can see excludes excavation for ground investigation, boring of for piling. So these two are also related to ground. But the excavation for ground investigation, what is the difference? Now you may think that trial pits and trenches, that is excavation only. So that is not included, but why excludes excavation for ground investigation? So such ground investigation, what is not included in class B, we have to study class C. There it will be clearly mentioned. Okay. Similarly, boring for piling is also a type of boreholes, but that borehole is different from piling bore. Okay, so these things we have to study based on real practice examples. Then only you will understand. So these types of things we are discussing in workshop. So once you attend the workshop, then you will get the total idea how to make measurements in civil engineering projects. So next is class C. So class C, again you have to observe that there should be some includes and there should be some excludes. So like class B, there is includes, we already saw that, and excludes also we saw that. Similarly, in class C also there will be includes and excludes. What are included in class C? In class C, geotechnical process for altering the properties of soil and rocks. Other specialist process as listed. So we have to check the list. Again, class B and class C, you may get confused because you don't have practical experience. So here, geotechnical process for altering the properties of soils and rocks is included. Other specialist process as listed is included. What that means? That means class C means for these two type of work. One is altering the properties, another is specialist process. So practically we have to understand what is a specialist process and what is a process for altering the properties. Again, we may get confused that compaction of soil is altering the properties of soil. Correct. But that is not included in class C. So other than compaction, other than grouting within tenants shaft, other than grouting carried out from within the seaways. So these type of works we have to understand. What is included, what is not included in class C. So suppose in a contract they are telling class C works are not a part of contract. Just a word is there in the contract condition. So class C works means geotechnical processes for altering the properties and specialist process. So we have to understand that these are class C works. That is not in the contract, so that is not in our scope. This is the thing we have to identify. Suppose you are an engineer for a contractor and the contract is not telling that class C is included, then you are not supposed to do class C works. So that's why I said no one is exempted. Like so many When I took workshops, they are telling site engineer need not study SESM. Only planning engineers, quantity surveys, contract engineers need to study SESM. It is not like that. Site engineer also should be aware of SESM. Then only your work will become smart work. Otherwise, your work will be hard work. So you cannot blame that your colleague is getting more promotion and increment, and you are not getting that. This is smart work. What are not included in the contract, we need not work for that. We need not waste time to study that. We need not waste our hard work for that. We need not waste our brain for that. So, for that, you have to understand what is included and what is not included in each and every classes of SESM. So, especially site engineers are frustrated just because they don't know these things. Eventually, planning and contract engineers will study these areas, but still they are not aware of total SESM or feeding conditions. So, our workshops are making you to work in a smart way. And this video you should watch fully because no one from the industry will teach you like this. All they will teach you just whatever they record. Because if you are in a building work, they will tell you as per our contract condition, this is not required. But you will never understand that that is because it is not included in SESM. This is the factor I am telling you. Okay. Another thing is in SESM there are options. When you attend our workshops, we will detail we will give you detailed study case by case. We will give you different type of civil engineering projects that you will solve like a real project. That is a specialty. So when you do that, you will understand what is the why sewage is not included in class C. Same class D, demolition and site clearance. So class D is very simple, but you have to understand that is not yeah, means class C is just a limited area, class D is coming, and it is not at all consider for the works defined in class C or E or lot of other classes. So never get confused with those things included in class C, E, J, K, L, R, T, X and Y. So these corrections we have to understand. See, demolition and site clearance is exactly class D. But removal of articles, objects, obstructions and materials other than tree roots at or below the original surface See, now you will get the confusion. Clearing the site means removal of particles, objects, obstructions, and materials. Like that, we will think. But really, that is different classes. So it is coming around 10 other classes. It is not included in class D. So class D, what is included? So the rate will be different in BOQ. Contractually, the rate will be different. Suppose you are a site engineer, you have to remove a electrical post or a footing which is already there. So you have to understand whether I can use a crane to remove that. Then you can take the action. But suppose it is a root of tree, that is not applicable. See the difference. Both can be removed by a crane, but crane is costly. So, to plan the site itself, you have to understand which type of work is included in every class of the system. So, based on that, the company or your seniors will decide that you are working in a smart way, not hard way. Suppose you have to remove a footing, big footing, okay, that is clearly visible in your site. You need not worry about getting a crane to remove that because it is already above the surface. In contract, it is well defined. Suppose the same thing is below the original surface. This is the factor that is unknown. So the difference you have to understand. This is the thing we have to understand from CESMM. Next class C, earthworks is coming. See, previously we discussed that class B and class C also there are ground investigation, diaphragm bars, ground anchorages. Those works are not included in this earthwork. Other than you can see 7 sections itself not included or excluded. Excavation, dredging, filling, compaction, disposal, and landscaping. Only these things are included in class E. So this is very even experienced civil engineers is confused with these things when it comes to earthworks. Whether this is payable under class C or class B or you can see lot of other classes. Class I, J, K, L, Y, P, Q, R, T, X. So many classes are there related to earthworks. So which class is our work? This we have to understand. Only with CESMM. Again another thing. See foundation for fences and gates, class X. If you ask experienced civil engineers also, they never know that those excavations are different, not related to their normal excavation, dredging, filling, excavation, other compaction work. So that is payable under different things. So they have to maintain the records accordingly. Lot of times when I ask site engineer how much time JCB or excavator work in building and how much time it work for the compound wall? They don't have answers. Sir, excavator came in the morning and it left in 5 o'clock in the evening. So how should the company will get the payment? Because if it is work 2 hours for the foundation for fences and gates, the rate is different. Maybe for the building the rate is $1,000, but for fences and gates it may be $3,000 because the output will be different. So based on these factors, this is defined. So there is the difference between hard work and smart work. The both these two engineers working one day in the site, but they cannot give the same output just because they don't know how these things are measured, how the payments are coming for the company. So our workshops are based on these things. That is industry and academic gap. Whatever you study in engineering and what is going on in industry. So this difference, once you understand, you know how to check CESMM conditions, how to build your work. Even you are a site engineer or you are a entrepreneur with your own business or you're a client or consultant, whatever it is, if you know the difference, then you will understand how to give money and how to claim money, how to do the billing. Ultimately, every work is for the bills, for the money. Class F is in situ concrete. So it is specifically telling that in situ concrete for PCC and RCC. That is whatever concrete we are doing inside the site. And it is not precast. There is a difference. Inside the site, what is included, what is not included. So you can see generally it includes PCC and RCC but excludes lot of other things. So while studying CESMM, but ultimately we can understand that you may easily understand what is included, but it is difficult to understand what is excluded. That's why people often confused with concretes, PCC, RCC difference they may understand. But when it is coming for different type of works which is in excluded in situ concrete, means what are inside the site. See, capping of boreholes, diaphragm walls, excavation ancillaries. Excavation ancillaries means we'll go through when we are discussing in the workshop, petroleum pumping pipelines, all those things. We will discuss that. Granolithic and applied finishes, those things also we will discuss. Drainage and pipe works. There also plain cement concrete is coming. Piles. There is RCC is coming. Roads. Both RCC and PCC is coming. Tunnel also PCC and RCC is coming. For fences and gates, same. In excavation also you can see. For fences and gates, conditions are different. So that is one thing. So we can move to next section. So altogether class F itself you understood that what is included is limited, what is excluded is very much. So this SESM, everything is clearly stated, but without a guru who can teach you based on the real projects, you will feel it is difficult. Okay. Again, we are going to next class G, class G. So class G is one of the plain class, means you cannot see any excludes there. That means one of the easiest class. That includes concrete ancillaries, formwork for in situ concrete, reinforcement for in situ concrete, joints in in-situ concrete, post-tension to pre-tension, accessories for in-situ concrete. This is very simple to understand, but most costly things in the site. And even almost all civil engineering, this part is very important and most neglected part. Formwork for in situ concrete is measured separately. Joints in concrete measuring separately. Reinforcement for in situ concrete separate measurement. Balance other things is not common, but accessories for in situ concrete, that also you have to understand. So this is the way practically you have to make, bill or quantify the work. Class G is seemingly very simple but very powerful. And when we go to class F, sorry, class H, GH, this is about precast concrete. Includes manufacture, erection, joining, and fixing of precast concrete units. So, whenever we think about precast concrete, don't think that class H includes everything, because you have to check what is excluding. See, there's a big list, around 8 items with different classes is separately measured. Post tension pre-stressing, precast concrete pipework, precast concrete manholes, scratch pits, gullies, concrete piles, paving, scarves, traffic sign, supports. We have to understand those things. What whenever you include it is coming under class H, you have to check what excludes. So if it is not coming under those classes, then definitely it is coming under class H. So class H, you have to define based on what is excluding. So definitely now you got the point. We have to understand each and every type of structures. Even it is a catch pit or gully, we have to understand it. So this is the difference between a workshop and YouTube videos. I cannot explain it in a video. Even I try to explain these things with a 10-hour video, you cannot digest it. But if it is done in a workshop, just for you, then practically you will see what is inside, what is not inside. Next is class I. That is class I is roughly telling that those works related to pipes. So now you may confuse whatever works we are using pipes are included in class I. It is not like that. Again, JKL and YZ is not included. It is excluding. So when we go to JKL, you will understand class I how it is different. So here it is for laying jointing of pipe. One word is there, particularly provision. This is a legal term that we will explain in our workshop. Suppose there is a provision, means the meaning and the rate will be different. So those type of legal words also we will explain. You have to understand lot of legal words while studying SESM explicitly, expressively, like that. So includes and excludes, I think you are well versed with now, whatever explanation I given. So work included in class J, K, L, Y and Z is not included in class I, pipes. So then where it is included? So we have doubt. Everywhere it is saying that excluding is more, and how to understand what is where it is included. Okay, so we will discuss that. So session we are planning to make lot of sessions, but YouTube videos will not do good. You better attend our workshop sessions. Class J is pipework, fittings and joints, valve. In this, again, class I we already mentioned that. So that is not included. Still we don't know what is included in class I. Then how can you say? So piped building services, class Z. Fittings and valves for pipework. This class is mainly includes infrastructure work and it is not related to building services. Private building services you can see class Z it is coming. Do not confuse these things. So a lot of confusions will come because no civil engineer is exposed to lot of infrastructure and building works in his career. Even you check 10 to 15 years experienced civil engineers, you may find hardly one in thousands who have experience in infrastructure as well as buildings or roads. So smart work means you will never get confused. So class J, class I, class K. Class K is for manholes, chambers, duct, crossings and reinstatements. So crossing and reinstatement again you will get confused. This is road crossing and reinstatement of road crossing, but you will find the same for new work. So class K we will connect it to I, J, L, Y and Z. So don't get confused. Again in L, extras to excavation and backfilling to trenches for pipe work. So this is why the excavation for building and excavation for what are related to walls, compound walls are not included. So again this pipeline you can see that piped building services is not included. So supports and protection to pipe work, duct, metal converts, all these things, these words you will understand only through real project work. Otherwise, you will get confused. So, workshops are for that purpose. So, class L, you understood. K also you understood. So, whenever you are checking one class, the other classes, you should check the excluding. What is excluding? So, you have to go back to those classes. And we are giving a CESMM book for everyone who are attending our workshops. So mainly we are providing workshops for the corporate companies, engineering colleges and other private companies also we are giving. So whatever the position, you are in office or you are in other departments or you are in directly to execution, our workshops will be beneficial for you. Structural metalwork is in class M, but it is not included in whatever metalwork in concrete or pipe work or piles or fences. So don't think that this is included in reinforcement. In miscellaneous metalwork, again you will get confused that lot of other classes are excluded. Next is class of for timber. This is again not for formwork, for timber sleepers, timber piles, etc., etc., etc. That means if you know FIDIC and CESMM exactly, you are studying the law of construction and you will understand where you should concentrate. See, timber supports in tunnels, that is separate in class G. Timber sleepers, class S. Timber piles, class P. Former to concrete, class G. Again, what is timber including in class O? That is timber decking. So you have to understand where is this timber decking is coming. Components and fittings in timber. So where is these things are coming? Next is pile. Includes all type of piles. So what is excluding? You can see ground anchors, in the site investigation, piling, ancillaries, wallings and tie rods. Those things are excluded. But all types of piles are there. So when we go through the CESMM, you can see based on the diameter also piles is well defined in CESMM. So this is just an introduction session only. Actually, CESMM you have to study like a different subject in civil engineering. Unfortunately, CESMM is not included in engineering syllabus. So whenever you go into the industry, you will find difficulty. It is not included because of a lot of other reasons. Class R is another important related to roadworks, and again we can see what is excluded. What is included? Even traffic signs and markings are included, but drainage is not included. Earthworks is not included. So you may get a little confused because why it is not included here. So answer for that we are discussing in our workshop. And traffic signs and marking very important in road work. Lot of persons don't know under which class it is coming. Curbing and light duty pavements, footways, cycle tracks, subways, bays, surfacing of roads, all those are included in roads and pavings class R. But you can see that substantial structures supporting traffic signs is not in class R. It is fourth item excluding in class R. Why it is so? This is the thing we have to understand. Another thing is rail track foundation, all those things are included. But overhead crane rails, concrete track foundations, all those are coming in different classes. So rails and sleepers, fittings, switches and crossings is all those things coming inside. Again in tunnels, tunnel lining, subterranean works, cavities, all are included. But again some 8 classes are not included there. That is included in another class. Pipeline you can see it is excluded. But you have to observe that IJKL what is included. Cut and cover tunnels. Cut and cover tunnels means that also we have to use excavator, but it is not considered as excavation work for tunnel. Class U brickwork and blockwork. This is all related to building work. Again, manhole, sewer renovation works, all those brickwork, blockwork, masonry works are not included. Normal brickwork and blockwork is included in class U. Painting works also. Here, this is related to those painting works. Before delivering to site and after delivering to site. That is the only difference. It's a not complicated class. Another class is class W, dam proofing, tanking, and roofing. So this is specifically for dam proofing and tanking and roofing work. And you have to refer around 14 classes to understand what is not in class W. Class V, W, X, X fences and their foundation. This is the thing, the foundations. So while we discussing about PCC and RCC, these foundations are not included there, but it is included here. Okay, and drainage to structures above ground. This is very important, and the rate for these things is different. Rock-filled gabions, that also separate rate. Lot of people don't know, are confused how to measure gabions. Class Y, existing sewage water mains. So you have to understand what is water main. So what is manhole, difference between sewerage, drainage, manholes, all those things you have to understand. So when you attend our workshop, you will understand those differences. So here we can see extras to excavation and backfilling for new manholes and other chambers. Class L, it will come. So this is also a confusing area. New pipe work, class I to L, new fittings. So what is included in class Y? That means it requires some renovation work. Okay, other than normal new work. That is the thing. So when we quote for a, if you are an estimation engineer or you are preparing a tender calculation, you have to consider those things. Okay, again, preparation class Z is also mostly coming to building works, but it is also including works to manholes and sewers. So lot of people think that sewers and water mains are coming in class Y or X. We already see that. So it is not coming like that. Okay. So extras to excavation and backfilling for no manholes and other chambers, class L. So these areas brings money to the project. If you are a site engineer or building engineer or contracts engineer or whatever position you are doing as a civil engineer in a project, if you don't know how to build your work, then the hard work you are doing in the site will be wasted. That means you need to be smart. You need to be smart means you need to understand these things better than anybody others. So you can claim that okay, new fitting and valves used in water mains renovation work. You cannot ask those charges in class Z. You have to give the prices for be defined in the class J. Okay, it includes labor charge, machinery, whatever it is, whatever resources you are using, those charges should be included. So I hope you will now you got the idea how much important is SESM inside industry and the difference between academics, academic knowledge and practical knowledge and how these things are working. So our further videos will explain you different classes, but I suggest you attend any one of my workshop related to CESMM. So who are interested to attend the workshops can arrange themselves, or you can attend the workshops we are arranging. We are doing workshop all over the India. So it is going according to my time schedule. I will consider any colleges or any group of engineers who are willing to attend. And webinars or online classes will not do very good results because it will not give you a full insight to the real works. So normally we are doing very good practical workshops. So you will never lose the knowledge. So I can also monitor you whether you are following what are things, and even some of the areas you may feel you may lack. So I can understand you only in person. uh, when I talk to you, then I can understand. Thank you everybody. So just go through the video again. In any classes you have any doubt, you can ask me in comments. I am always there for the upcoming engineers. I am already almost a retired person. So you can ask me what are doubts you have. Okay? Thank you.